Hi everyone, my name is Sahar, and today I'm going to discuss about STEM and inquiry-based learning in early childhood education and care. So the topics that I'm going to cover today is basically intentional teaching, EYLF alignment, and reflective practice. And my target age group will be 3 to 5 years old. So let's talk about intentional teaching first. So what is intentional teaching? Intentional teaching basically includes three main things, that is purposeful planning, scaffolding, and responsive practice. So what educators are required to do in intentional teaching is that they are purposefully intentionally planning and making decisions to create in and increase children's learning by using different strategies that move beyond teaching to thoughtful, extended children's inquiry. Intentional teaching strategies for STEM include four major steps. Number one is open-ended questions that we as educator are encouraging children to pretend, to ask questions and explain them. What if I will put water in the jug and if I have the same water in the glass? So comparison. And what do you think will happen if I will put ball in the water? Does it gonna float or sink? So helping them and giving them different opportunities and asking them open-ended questions. Second thing will be modeling their thoughts and helping them to think aloud, demonstrating inquiry processes so children understand scientific thinking, and then educators verbalize their own reasoning in proper words with using proper vocabulary, clear words. And third thing will be provocation and sustained shared thinking. Like in intentional teaching strategy, we are using, if you're using hand-on materials, that is going to spark their curiosity and it is going to help them to learn more. And it's going to cover all the holistic domains too. And then we are documenting them like in photography or making the notes about their what they have learned and then reflection on what we can improve for the future. So the activity that I have used in kinder with my children's of observation was sink or float investigation, in which children investigate which object will sink or which will float. So I did not straight away set up the activity and did that in front of them. I inquired. I sparked their curiosity by asking questions that what do you think will happen if I'm holding this ball in my hand and if I will put this ball in the water? What is going to happen? Is it going to sink or float? And then I have showed them multiple materials that I was having. And then I asked them that, what do you think? This will float or sink? And it took me like 45 minutes to do this activity. And children were so curious. They were taking interest and they were asking multiple questions. They were so excited. And what was my main intentional strategy in it was to help them to learn different vocabulary words like heavy, the heavy objects goes down, light objects, float, sink, predict, observe, and test. And then what I did was that I then documented their observations, what they have learned in it, and what type of questions they ask, what kind of things they tested in that activity. And also, I linked it with the learning outcome for that the children are becoming confident and involved learner. And five, that they are effective communicators because they communicate a lot with each other and also with me. EYLF principles, practices, and outcomes will be that in principles we can build a relationship with children, respectful relationship, and also we can include families in that. And in practices, we the intentional teaching is basically helping them deliberately to questions, and then modeling scaffold scientific reasoning. And learning environments can be water tray, prediction sheets, and loose parts to create that inquiry based environment. And then assessment for learning will be educators document observations to plan, extend next provocations. And what children learned from the activity was that scientific thinking, that children develop prediction, observe what will happen, and then they test their skills. Mathematical reasoning that they have learned in this activity was to classify objects, sort them, and then use language of quantity, weight, and positions. In literacy and language, the children have learned different vocabulary words, and it is also incorporated with the learning outcome 4 and 5. So, reflection on my learning activity, when I reflect upon it, I have come to know that I can inclusively include different sensory items for different kinds of diverse children learning interest. I can put sand, I can put other sensory products so that the children with the special need they can get involved in this activity too. And also for engagement, I can include families for the future so that they can participate in it, and they can encourage children to bring stuff from their home and that they can test it. So, key takeaways in this activity and in this topic will be that intentional teaching transforms STEM play into meaningful inquiry through purposeful questioning, modeling, and scaffolding. Number two, Sink or Float embeds science, maths, and language within a joyful, age appropriate investigation, and it was directly linked with outcome 4 and 5. And reflective practice can help to extend that activity. And high quality early STEM learning builds disposition, curiosity, persistence, reasoning that can underpin the learning then. These are the references for you to look, and that's it from my side. Thank you so much for watching the video.